Thank you. So, good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining. I'm a PhD student at the Space Research Department of Samara University, and I'm here representing my PhD supervisor, Professor Igor Bielakonov, who unfortunately could not join us today. But it is my pleasure to tell everyone what we have been up to, and what are our plans for this year. So without further ado, this is UNISEC-Samara report for 2025 and 2026. I would like to start with a little introduction about our city because we actually take very proud in being considered the space capital of Russia. Samara is actually the city in which Yuri Gagarin's rocket was built. Is the first city he came to after his first space flight. And it was not Moscow, it was not St. Petersburg, it was Samara. So this is the center of one of the poles of Russian space industry. And we feel responsible for trying to keep up with the reputation that the city has. So this is why we take very seriously our work in the space community. And this is how my presentation is divided. So first, I'll tell you about some of our results from our summer space school last year. Then some results of the space missions that we are developing. Tell you a little more about the participation in conferences, symposiums, and congresses, so you can grasp how we are conducting our scientific activities, and make a short announcement for 2026. Um, so, just for you to understand what our International Summer Space School is about, we're talking about a 2 weeks training with both theoretical and practical classes that are led by expert scientists and engineers from our department. Um, the school is conducted in English, and it is internationally recognized. So our participants, upon completion, they will receive a certificate with equivalence of 3 ECTs. And our the school is conducted in our department and in our university. So our classrooms are actually our testing centers, our labs, our ground station centers. So this is very interesting. And last year we've had 11 countries joining our space school. If you want to check some of our material, our media gallery, the school program, or interesting material, you can visit our official website from last year. Um, and one thing that we try to do is to provide our participants with a very similar experience to what they will encounter on a real space project. For that reason, we divide our participants into 3 groups. The number of groups may vary according to the number of participants, but each year we pick topics that are based on real space missions. And these groups, they will, with the help of one of our supervisors from our department, they will develop the concept of a mission. So last year we've had spherical satellites for studying atmospheric density at very low Earth orbits, a 6U CubeSat for studying cislunar space, and a CubeSat mission for Earth remote sensing. So our participants, after covering some topics such as orbital mechanics, methods and algorithms for nanosatellite attitude determination, they were guided into how they could develop the concept of such missions, and they defended their missions for a commission of experts. They've received very interesting and valuable feedback, so this was very interesting. And I could not mention some of our post-school results because our school is not limited to the in-classroom experience. This is a space for growth. So we exchange ideas, we get feedbacks on our projects, we extend cooperations, and we have very strong participants every year. And we keep track of our participants, we keep track of their achievements, and we take very proud in being part of their journey in the space community. So we've had, for example, in 2023, we had Giovanna Ramirez. She participated on our school, and she became the first analog astronaut in Colombia. We've had Celia Chavez from Mexico. She also participated in 2023, and she was the winner of the International Astronautic Federation Emerging Countries Leaders last year. We had Sainath Vamshi from India. He's actually present in this meeting today. He participated last year, and he's a startup owner. He had experience in several Rio missions back in India, and he was participating in our summer school. So he heard from other people, he shared his experience. So across our 19 editions, we are going to the 20th edition this year. We've had more than 500 participants for more than 40 countries, and we try to share very valuable knowledge. We had real space scientists conducting the school. This is a photo from one of our engineers in the official Roscosmos testing center. He was testing our nanosatellite that is now in orbit. And here he is teaching our students in our summer space school, sharing his knowledge. So this is a very interesting experience. At the end, I will announce our next summer school. So for everyone who's present, if you would like to join, please let me know. And now about some of our mission results. Our satellite, Samsat Ionosphere, it's working for 14 months now. And one of the very interesting results that we've had this year is that we were able to reconstruct the geomagnetic field map over Russian Federation. So these are real, practical, applicable results that were achieved with a satellite that was made almost 100% within our department. So this is something very interesting that I would like to highlight. We bought external components as little as possible. Almost everything was developed within our department. We developed our PCBs. Our department actually holds the patent for the antenna deployment system and the plasma parameter sensor. So if we made it, it's easy for us to understand it. So we don't have to account for external errors. Everything was programmed by us within our department. So this is something that we take very proud on. Another of our results was the mapping of electron concentrations. So these are our measurements compared to a real model. And this way we can calibrate, we can better understand the components, the composition of the ionosphere, and this helps us to understand how this will impact signal transmission, reception. So these are very useful results that are being conducted with the participation of our students, of our young professionals. So this is something that we considered our 2025 year very successful on the sense that we've had very good results. And of course, space is about science, is about technology, but it is also about bringing people together. So we try to gather space enthusiasts from all over the world. And last year, we celebrated two very important days for the space community and to Russia. It's Gagarin's Day, when we celebrate the Yuri Gagarin's first space flight, and Victory Day on May the 9th. On those 2 days, our satellite was sending a commemorative signal. So radio amateurs around the world would be able to receive direct from our satellite a message celebrating that day. And this is very interesting because we don't actually have the idea of the full range of space enthusiasts all over the world until we see the results. So it's very interesting to imagine that something that was built in Samara is sending signals, for example, to Peru, to Japan, to Brazil. So these are the places that received our beacon on Gagarin's Day. And here's some other results from Victory's Day. So this is very interesting to see. And in the spirit of celebrating important days for the space community, we also conducted a video contest to celebrate Gagarin's Day. And we invited people to answer the question, what does Gagarin and his achievement mean to me, in a 2-minute video? And all the participants were awarded with a certificate that was signed by Professor Igor. The participants who later attended the space school received this certificate in person, and it was very interesting to see the spectrum of participants of videos that we received. We've had from space leaders to children that are from a very young age already interested in space. And our winner was a group of students from Nigeria. I really recommend you, I really encourage you to watch the video. If you scan this QR code, you will see the video of the first of our winner. And it was very touching to see how children from a very young age, from a country that doesn't have a tradition in space achievements, but these people they are making a step forward in this kind of initiative. We can bring those people together, and we sent them a set of commemorative exclusive postcards. We sent it by mail, and here you can see who won the second place, who was again Vamshi. He's present here at this meeting. And the third place was also awarded for a group of children. So we had from a startup owner to children that are very enthusiastic about space, and this was very interesting to see. And about our participation in conferences, symposiums, and etc. Hi, sorry, am I out of time?
No, go
No?
ahead.
Okay, great. So we've had our Russian symposium. This is a symposium that we organize in our department every 2 years. So if you like the topics that we cover, I really encourage you to participate next year. The working language of the symposium is Russian, but for foreigner participants, we provide translation in English, Spanish, or Portuguese. And we had five scientific sections. People can attend both in person and online. So if you cannot go to Russia but you want to participate, you can participate online. We've had almost 60 scientific presentations, and about the international cooperation, we've had representatives from BRICS, we've had representatives from JAXA. This was a very interesting discussion. I think very interesting advances in this cooperation were made in our symposium. We've had people from Belarus, so this was very interesting. And of course, conferences. We've had participation in both national and international conferences and congresses. We take very proud in having a very international and intercultural um, uh, team in our department. So we had people going to the IAC. These presentations were in English. We had presentations in French, in Madagascar from one of our students. I myself am Brazilian, and last year I had the opportunity to present my PhD research that I'm conducting with Professor Bielakonov in my country. This was the first time I covered this topic in my own language. This was very interesting. We also attended COSPAR last year in Cyprus. Professor Bielakonov was just recently in India to also share his projects. So yeah, we considered our year to have been very successful in that sense of international cooperation. And if you liked what you heard about our International Summer Space School, please scan this QR code, check some of the information at our official website. We have this every year. This year it'll be taking place on June 22 and July until July the 3rd. You can send any questions to our official email. And this year we'll be celebrating 65 years from one of the greatest achievements of humankind, which was Gagarin's flight. So this year it'll be very interesting, and I'm sure you will really like it. So with this, I conclude my presentation. Professor Bielakonov sends his best regards, and please, I'm available if you have any questions, or you can write to us later on our email. Thank you for the opportunity.
Okay, Berger-san, thank you for the presentation from Samara. We have time for one or two questions. Anyone?
Yeah,
Anyone?
I just checked the site that Nigeria is parent country. Yeah, yeah. And I myself, I didn't know about the interested in the school community because, for example, in Brazil, we also have space achievements, but we don't have the culture of motivating school students. Unfortunately, we still don't have that culture. Here in Russia, I see that the whole time, like in schools, childrens are like building rockets, and this is very interesting. Unfortunately, in Latin America, that's not very present yet, and I didn't know until we had such a big participation from Nigeria that school students they have space camps, they have space groups. This was very interesting to see. So it was inspiring, especially because these were children.